Hello, hooligans, and welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between workload and distribution. Now, this is an idea that I have been working through, and as I learn, I think I'm starting to believe a little bit counter to what I believed before. So if this sounds a little differently than the way that I was talking a year or two ago, that makes sense. I think I've learned. So I am starting to think that until you are a very, very high level athlete, and we're talking like probably until you are a national caliber athlete, that probably the amount of work that you do is more important than what that work is, within reason. So you might have seen like a maximization versus optimization problem video a couple days ago. If you didn't, go check that out, because this is kind of one of those things where you might be tempted to hear me say this is the only thing that's important, when in reality I'm saying they're both. So really, you've seen a lot of athletes who train, who like follow a good plan kind of perfectly and don't see progress. And then you've seen athletes follow what by any scientific measure is a complete bullshit plan and get faster. And I think that the universal truth in that is that the plan was probably too much, that good plan was probably too much work for that one athlete. And that kind of bullshit plan was the right amount of work for that athlete. And so I think, again, until you are something like a national caliber athlete, one of the things that you should be paying to most is, am I adapting to this training? Is this training making me faster? How am I making sure that the workload is correct? And that should be one of the first things that you think about, because it's beginning to be one of the first things that I think about too. Now, notice I'm not saying distribution doesn't matter. I'm not saying that what you do doesn't matter. Now, there are still universal truths in there. We need to train a lot. Some of our training needs to be hard. But I think there's more wiggle room, especially if the system that you put together allows you to know how much training is too much and how much training is not enough. So, how are you managing your workload and making sure that it's correct? Question of the day. Have a good one.